Folks, welcome back to the stream. I'm here tonight. It's Sunday night, the 29th of October. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. If this is the first time you're checking out the channel, then welcome. And looks like the chat is just getting started. We've got Alex. Hey, what's going on? Gonna buy the 8 Plus. Irfan says, I'm going to buy the 8 Plus just because I'm afraid the 10 might disappoint and have issues and is ridiculously pricey. Right decision. Yes, I think that's a great decision. I mean, you know, the 8 Plus is a great phone. The 8 Plus is a great phone. And the only thing it's lacking is the headphone jack. So I would say that, yes, absolutely, that would be a great thing to have. And the 10 is pricey. I mean, it depends on what 8 Plus you're going to get. If you're going to get the 8 Plus with 256 gigs, then it's like $950 and it's getting pretty expensive. So I don't know. I mean, lots of people are going for the 7. Lots of people are going for the 6S. So it's up to you. But I mean, to get 256 in the iPhone 10, you're looking at $1,150 plus tax, which takes you over $1,200. That's a lot of money. You could go buy a MacBook. So, E.W. Broderick, always been an early adopter, and fortunately, never had issues with Apple products. Yeah, I hope I'm waiting on Friday. I'm waiting on Friday. It says the stream is live. Oh yeah, and Apple Pro Care. Oh yeah, the Apple Care is friggin' $200. So it's a $1,400 cell phone. You had the 7 Plus. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, I go back and forth between Android and iOS. There's stuff that I like a lot. And then there's stuff that I don't. Yeah, I saw that the price for fixing the screen, if you break the screen of the 10, is something like $279. So if you don't buy Apple Care for $200, then break the screen, you're out $800 or $80. I'm sorry. So yeah, it's kind of nuts. But then again, I always live dangerously. Hey, Tech Junkies, what's up, man? No live stream? Well, I'm here. I'm talking. Can anybody else not see me? Because I'm looking at me on the stream, and I'm looking at me here. Never had a broken phone before. Okay, thanks, DJ Money. DJ G Money. Okay, cool. I want to get all those things in there. I've tried wallet cases before, and I just find that, I can never get to my phone fast enough. I'd like to try one of those ones with the slip-off back where you can just stick a couple of cards in. Yeah, I had to go to my Blue Yeti for the audio here. For some reason, there is something that's going on with OBS where if I use my Thunderbolt interface, then there's static in the audio that's coming through the mic. It doesn't exist anywhere but in OBS. And I've tried everything I can to figure it out. So when I'm doing the streams, I'll just switch over to this USB mic and we'll just go. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad everything's working. I even have I've got things set up on my Stream Deck. Look, I can do this. I got everybody's chat going on in there. So people can see what people are saying. So Mike's House 2000. You think the customizability is the big deal for you? I agree. I mean, I tend to go back and forth. Sometimes I love to be able to customize things, and sometimes I just find myself fiddling, moving things around all over the place, or not doing anything. So up in Canada, leather case charger. Also, yeah, you got to get that extra fast charger. 2,200 Canadian dollars. How many American dollars is that? Is that like 1,500 American dollars? Hey, Mr. NYC, what's going on, guy? I use a case too. I love the feel of the phone without a case, guy, but it's one of those things where if you don't use a case, then you're out of money. And it's kind of like the opposite of Apple Care. It's like 20 something bucks for a case, and then like, maybe you're safe, whereas like 200 bucks for Apple Care. I bought Apple Care on one computer one time, and I had that computer for like the whole time the Apple Care was good for, and I never had a problem with the computer. And that's the thing about Apple products, is if you get a good one, it's usually gonna work really well. And if you don't get a good one, then you get it replaced or you get it fixed, then it's gonna be okay. So while Apple Care is an incredible deal, I always say to the people who ask me when I'm buying something in a store, they say, "Hey, do you want Apple Care?" I'm like, "I've got 30 days to add it. I'll just think about it." Sex box or case. What are you trying to do? You trying to get me demonetized by giving me money? Thanks, JT. I can't say these things on the interwebs. Every single one of my videos over the past couple of weeks. Hey, Tana does tech. Oh man, that's so great. Thank you very much. I'm gonna try and keep the honesty coming. And PlayStation is my main box, but I do have the Xbox One S that's in the living room that the family uses for audio. Or not audio, but for all of our video stuff. And my daughter plays Injustice 2. My daughter's 13, and she absolutely destroys me in Injustice 2. Like, I won't play her anymore. I won't, because she enjoys kicking my ass too much. But she's a sweet girl. Do you think I'd look? Crapbag says, "Do you think you'd look cooler with a full long beard?" I think you. Well, thank you. I don't let people, well, I mean, my wife or people close to me, but it's not like a good luck charm or anything. But I actually have been like cultivating this beard thing for like 10 years, and I don't know if I've got it figured out yet or not. Tech Junkie 2 Xbox One S is one living room, one bedroom. Yeah. I have the PlayStation down here. I've also got the NVIDIA Streambox thingy that I can throw my computer stuff over there. To be honestly, I just haven't had time to play any games for a long time. I might try to wait online for. I might try and wait online for an iPhone X. It looks like I'm good for November 3rd to get one, so delivered. But I might just go for the experience. We'll see. But I appreciate it, Mr. Broderick. I'll let you know if anything else comes up. I try to be honest, Mr. NYC. They sell beard vitamins. Well, I actually use beard oil. It's like tea tree oil and some other thing, and a boar's hair brush, because this is going to sound weird, but I was having problems with beard dandruff, and since I mostly wear black, it was getting kind of embarrassing, so I figured I needed to lubricate the beard. So, well, thank you, Mr. Broderick. I appreciate it. Don't pay a homeless person to sit in line for you, man. You gotta go out there. Like, that's the ultimate privilege. Go sit there by yourself and get the homeless guy a sandwich or something. So the only reason you hate cases is because you feel like, yeah, I feel the same way. If I'm spending $1,000 on a phone, then the case is like nowhere near as good looking. It used to be, and I think I made it this point in the video, it used to be that phones weren't all that great looking. and so the cases could be an improvement. But then I think with Moto, when they had the Moto X, that's when it really started to change, and the phones started to look really good. And then when Samsung started to up their game in terms of build, their phones started to look really good, and the iPhones have always looked really good. So when you throw a case on, it's just not sexy. I agree with you, tech junkies. I really do. The big reason that I still play PS4, I mean, I've got a nice PC that I could game on. I've got the Xbox that I could game on. I got a ton of friends. I play Battlefield, and a ton of guys that I ended up over the past 4 years meeting and playing with, and I'm in a clan and all that kind of stuff. And so I stay on PS4 just for that. Oh man, so volunteering, you broke the S8 Plus. That's no good. I feel your pain. I was actually like doing something, fixing something on my porch, and my iPhone 7 Plus fell out of my sweatshirt pocket, and it was like 6 inches from the ground, and it just hit right on that edge and just spiderwebbed all over the place. Yeah, my phone is supposed to come on the 3rd now too. I actually went and checked, and something's going on where they tried to. I got to go to the bank tomorrow to make sure that they didn't like freak out. They never have before, but maybe that's whatever. Anyway, they say I got to go and talk to my bank. So anyway, that's my problem. You know, the design of the iPhone X is actually really, I think it's pretty nice. I don't think the notch, well, if it didn't have the notch, I mean, just imagine if the iPhone X was just one sheet of glass, no buttons, nothing but screen, then, you know, hey, Forbes Tech, what's going on? I think the iPhone X looks really good. I can't wait to have it in my hands to really feel what, you know, it's like when you get that feel and you kind of like, you know, you get all tingly inside. So I don't know. I'm waiting to see what it feels like. I can't get a sense for how, I know it's not as big as the plus size phones, so I can't get a sense of how big it is. So well, I think the iPhone 8 really is the 7S, JT. I honestly think that Apple was sort of hedging their bets and saying, we really want to bring out this new design, new flagship phone, new everything like that, and it's so much new technology. A, we couldn't get the fingerprint reader under the screen like we wanted him. B, they decided to go to the Face ID, which just seems like, you know, oh, we've got a super serious problem. We have no Touch ID under the screen. Let's build something even more difficult. I think they went to 8 and 8 Plus just so that there would be a tier below the 10 that was a new phone that people could buy, as opposed to just like saying, hey, here, you know, you can get the 10 or you can get the 7 and the 7 Plus. I think that's why they did that. Yeah, maybe spending money in the middle of the night does make the bank freak out. I'll have to go and check that out. We're part of a, it's like a, I live in like tiny Iowa. You know, this is a college town, but everything is small around here, so they're not used to all this fancy stuff. The Gear S3 is a sexy looking watch, I will say that. I have not brought myself to pull the trigger. Hey, Technically T, man, thanks for stopping in. Good to see you. So you got it, G Money. You got the Gear S3 for $50. Huh. I shouldn't have left AT&T, but I went to Verizon. I don't even remember why I went to Verizon, other than I was pissed off at AT&T for some reason. I was just really angry at them, and so I went and got on Verizon. But that is a good deal. You know, I was in the Verizon store and they were trying to talk me into getting the Apple Watch 3, and the girl was like, oh, "It's only $28 today, and you pay it off in 6 months." And I was like, oh. That was really tempting, but yeah, I know. The stamp is on the V30. I think it's ugly. I don't. That's why, that's why D brand exists, because everybody used to do that. So, but Hell's favorite angel, Mike. Thanks though, man. I'm an Iowa City guy. Yeah, I came out here to go to grad school as well. I came out here to get a MFA in writing, and that was 2005. I came out here at first, and I've just been here ever since. My wife got a job she really likes. It's got good schools here for my daughter, and so I've been here for like 13 years or something. How do you use 100 gigabytes a month on mobile? I mean, that's a lot of porn, dude. I don't know. Like, what are you downloading? I'm usually someplace where there's Wi-Fi. I'm either at work or I'm at home, or I'm in between the two. So the in between the two is where I would use data, but I end up rolling over like tons of it. So yeah, it's giving me this option to hide that, but I'm not going to hide that. So I'm going to show this message because it's funny. Tana, thank you. Yeah, Iowa City is a really cool town. I enjoy it. I grew up in a college town. I grew up in Morgantown, West Virginia, and went to West Virginia University. And growing up in a college town was really great. I guess they probably do, G Money. I guess they probably do. Hopefully the YouTube demonetization police won't come after me for talking about porn. But I'm not talking about it. I'm just using the word. Anyway, I'm just like, I don't use a ton of data. Best Buy charging. Now, I want to know why it's a good thing. Why is it a good thing that Best Buy decided to charge an extra $100? And I saw a headline where they said, yeah, it was, and that's a good thing. Punishment. Oh, you drive for a job. Yeah, the video, I can't wait. I've got a few videos planned. I've got some stuff that I started working on today that I'm going to try and do a few things here before Friday, and then Friday get the phone and we'll start seeing what's going on. So you have no internet in your house. So you use 500 gigabytes or more? Or 50, I'm sorry, I'm blind. Yeah, I don't do the unlimited plan, mostly because we rarely ever use, we got 3 people on the same plan, and we rarely ever use all the data. I've actually been thinking about dropping it down to 16. But so you had to fight with Best Buy? I've had to fight with Best Buy before too. Best Buy does not like me. So what was their reasoning for wanting to charge an extra $100? What was the reasoning for wanting to charge an extra $100? I meant to look this up and I haven't done it. Does anybody know the reasoning? Is just like idiot tax or like asshole tax from Best Buy? I'm sorry. I'm cursing all over the place. It's been a long day. My daughter does roller derby and I like play music, and so today I went and played music at a benefit for her roller derby, and so now I'm a little just punchy, and I wanted to get this live streaming thing up to make sure that it was working right, and so yeah, Tech for Unique. I believe you, man. I believe you. I've been using my phone a lot more recently. I don't have a tablet right now. Well, I have an iPad Mini 2. and my wife has an iPad, my daughter has an iPad. I had the giant iPad, and I was just like, I never used it. I have a laptop that's basically the same size, so I got rid of it. Yeah, somebody's got to know why they say. Somebody's got to know why they say that it's a good thing. So, yeah, I've got the Cloud Alpha right now, and in fact, after I get done with this stream, I might throw them on and try and play a couple of rounds of Battlefield or something. I just haven't had time to really use them. Tech Junkies, yeah, I'll definitely check out your channel, man. I'll check it out for sure. You know, hey Steven, how you doing, man? G Money, it's interesting. I don't know what. I think part of the problem with a lot of people who do tech YouTube videos is that they aren't really like journalists. They don't really know like how to review things or how to talk about things in a somewhat like honest yet unbiased yet, you know, giving their opinion kind of way. It's something that takes a long time to figure out. It took me a long time to figure it out, but I've worked in like newspapers and I'm a writer and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying I'm any better than them. I mean, obviously, like I think Marquez Brownlee does awesome stuff, and there are a lot of other people who do really great stuff, but a lot of times the tech YouTubers just don't say very much. I don't know if they're afraid they'll stop getting the free tickets to the events or the free stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You know, my preferred ecosystem, Tech Junkies, I mean, iOS is what I've used the most, and Mac is what I've used the most. But as Apple has kind of not been awesome over the past few years, I've been, like right now I'm on a Windows computer, and really it was being able to record audio and not have it be a big hassle. That was the final hurdle for me to get out of the Apple ecosystem. I mean, I still have 2006 Mac Pro. I still have the 2015 MacBook Pro that I use at work. That they bought me. They bought me at work. There's a lot that I like about the Apple ecosystem, but there's a lot that they're just not getting right now. So you got those guys to price match by showing them the Verizon offers on a truly unlocked phone. Yeah, I think, I don't know why Best Buy, like, sometimes you can really, if you find a good person who works there, you can really have a good relationship with that store. But something about that company is just makes me angry. So, what kind of Windows PC? It's one that I built. Yeah, it's got a i7 6700K and a GTX 1060, and I basically built it so it could play games, but I could also do video and audio stuff. So, yeah, you know, well, Steven, one good thing about the new Macs with USB Type-C is that you will be able to start using with High Sierra external GPUs, just like you can on the Alienware laptops and on the Razer laptops. I don't know how well it's going to work. I don't know how much power it's going to give you, but you will be able to use external GPUs in a housing through USB-C. So that might be cool. I mean, I will say that the 27-inch iMac that I had for a little while, I could play games. I wasn't getting like, I wasn't getting anything over 60 frames a second. I wasn't getting ultra settings at that high, but it would play the games. The newer GPUs that they have in those Macs are good right now. Would you be able to use mods on a gaming Mac? That's a good question. I don't know. So you're going with the G6 guy? I was in the Verizon store today. I looked at the Pixel 2 XL because I'd heard everybody was talking about the blue shift. You just have to turn the phone a little bit, and all of a sudden everything is like bright blue. They screwed that up. It's terrible. Yeah, an external GPU on a MacBook would be expensive. Anytime you're talking about buying a Mac as opposed to doing anything that you build yourself, you're always going to do better building it yourself. Favorite gaming headset at the moment, Tim? Well, I mean, I've got the Cloud Alphas here. The thing I always go back to is just the ease of use with the Sony Golds. But yeah. I'm liking the Cloud Alpha so far, but I really just watched some TV and used them. Yeah, Tech Junkies. Oh man, I've been banned from returning stuff from the closest Best Buy to me, but not like I was really banned, but they just don't like me and they banned me. So I don't like them. They're not nice to me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the 2XL, that screen shift is really bad. I wouldn't buy that phone with the screen like that. So yeah, I mean, the thing about the Pixels, the thing that I liked about the Pixel was that it was just supposed to be a very basic phone that did Android really well. And I think they needed the 2 to go a little bit further, but they seem to have somehow taken a couple of steps back. I don't understand why. So it doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you picking on people's minivans, man? Minivans are very practical machines. So, Paul, what did I miss? You said T-Mobile pushed your delivery back. Yeah, something happened with my bank too. I said it earlier. I don't know what's going on. I got to go to the bank in the morning and find out why Apple says they need something. They need something from my bank. Anyway, I'm going to look into it. But if the Note 8 was made in metal, covered in plastic, with no wireless charging, no headphone jack, screen, yeah, you're probably right. Just imagine the grief that I have been giving Apple for a product that they haven't even released yet, and my worries that it's not going to be a good, successful product. Like, if Apple released something where the screen had the same problem as the Pixel 2 XL, people be tearing their hair out. So Google does get a pass. I mean, maybe it's because they haven't been doing this for very long. I don't know. I like Google phones. I had a Nexus 6P and I really liked it. I think the Pixel is a great idea, but I really think if they're going to charge flagship money, they need to have flagship quality and they need to have flagship specs. So, tech for your needs. Yeah, it is to showcase what you can do with Android. And that was the idea behind the Nexus phones too. But the Nexus phones, I mean, you could get the Nexus 6P for what, like $499, $599? And the Pixel 2 and 2 XL, I mean, they're $50, $100 cheaper than the Note 8 or the iPhone 8, but they're still pretty darn expensive. And I don't know who's doing that quality control for them. It's like they acquired a bunch of, I don't know if they actually acquired HTC, but they acquired a bunch of HTC engineers, I think, or something like that. And I don't know who's doing the quality control for them. I can't believe that those phones rolled off the line without anybody noticing those screen problems. Oh, yeah. So I saw a video from Super Saf today where he got something from BlackBerry. And, you get this giant thing, and it's got sunglasses in it, and it's got it's got a T-shirt with the BlackBerry logo and your name on it. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that would be kind of cool, but it doesn't seem like good practice journalistically, let's say. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, nobody's sending me any boxes at this point, so I'll just be paying for the boxes and then like trying to figure out how to continue to feed myself. So I don't know. It's kind of a slippery slope though, because I mean it's really expensive to do this for a living, which I don't, and have to do a bunch of stuff and not take the stuff that's being offered to you. I don't know. It's a problem I don't have right now. So I don't know. I don't want to talk negatively about anybody because I'm not in their shoes, but at the same time, like, if you're getting like, super fancy care packages and you're supposed to review that product, it's a problem. Do I think 4 gigs of RAM is enough? Yeah. I mean, between the V30 and the Note 8, so the V30 has 4, the Note 8 has 6, I could really not feel any difference between, with the 2 extra. So I think it's good to have it. You get better RAM management. A lot of the videos that I watched showed that a lot of the apps would stay in memory for longer because the Note 8 had more RAM. But I don't know if that's a realistic everyday, like you need 20 apps to be recallable in memory. So I think 4 is pretty good. Samsung, like, I guess they did some video at their event when they announced the Note 8. Like, they actually had the talent sourcing people. Somebody emailed me and said, hey, Samsung might want to use a clip of one of your videos. Would you be cool with that? They'll pay you $500. And like, I had to basically, it was like basically like I had to sign the thing to say I'd take $500. It's a video I already made, so I couldn't see any reason not to, but they didn't end up using it, so it wasn't a problem. If a tech Uber gets a care package and reviews the product, is that then a sponsored review? That is a gray area review. Because like I've reached out to companies and said, hey, I'd like to review your products, and they've said, okay, I'll send it to you. And then I've had companies reach out to me and say, hey, would you like to check out our stuff? There's no money changing hands. I assume that if a company is coming to me and they saw the name of my channel and they've watched any of my videos, they're going to have to assume that I'm not going to just say nice things because they sent me something free. But it is like a really slippery slope. I think guys like the Detroit Borg, I think that guy buys everything. And if I'm right, if he does buy everything himself, then I've got a ton of respect for him, because at that point, nobody owns, or he's totally in good standing with me. Now, he doesn't really review things. He opens the box and he tells you what's in it, and he does it really well. and he gives you something to think about when he's putting it out there. But he doesn't really review things. Let's see. I've never heard of that phone case. I don't know why would you want to print out photos if you just got them on your phone? That's like, I'm old. I remember Polaroid, then you have to shake it. You didn't have to shake it, but Xfinity Mobile, what review did you do for them that they sent you a care package there, Tana? So yeah, G-Money, whenever somebody says this video is brought to you by my friends over at D-Brand or whoever, that means that D-Brand, it's basically like a paid advertisement. And I think it's okay to do if you're not reviewing D-Brand and you're reviewing a cell phone, and the D-Brand product placement is, hey, thanks for my sponsor today, D-Brand, check them out. They make skins for this phone. That's not necessarily out of bounds. Now, if you're being sponsored by somebody and reviewing something by that company or something very similar, that's sketchy. iPhone schmyphone. Yeah, the V30 is an awesome phone, man. The DAC is there's not a better DAC on any phone out there that I've had any experience with. Going to Costco to have photos developed. Oh man, that's like, I don't know. That is old. I don't know the last time I got a photo developed. I've printed them out on a printer here at home, but so Xfinity had you review their service. That's cool. If they sent you a care package afterwards, after the video was published, and if they didn't have to approve like anything. See, that's the thing. Sometimes companies will ask, like, let us approve your video, and that is that to me, like when people have asked me about that, and I have one thing that I've got in for review where somebody wants to check to see the video before I put it out. But I made perfectly clear that like I needed to have editorial control. Like if they didn't feel comfortable with what I was saying, that I wouldn't publish the video. But they assured me that they weren't looking for that kind of approval. They just wanted to know what they were getting. Yeah, it's really hard. Like what people got to understand about tech companies and advertising and YouTubers and where YouTubers fit into that advertising thing is that tech companies are paying pennies on the dollar for what they used to pay for in advertisement. I mean, imagine how much it costs Samsung to advertise their phone on TV as opposed to sending 100 phones to 100 YouTubers. It's not even close in terms of how much money that cost. So, yeah, we don't have Xfinity out here either. Yeah, I haven't had anybody send me a care package afterwards, but then again, like I'm kind of like, right now I'm at the place where a lot of Chinese companies are trying to send me their knockoff headsets and stuff. And when I first started getting those offers, I took some stuff, and then I was like, I was getting myself, it was just building up a lot of work. So I'm trying to be much more selective. The A10 headset that I smashed up, no, nobody said anything to me about it. And in fact, and this is a testament to how sturdy that headset is. I ended up not keeping it and sending it back. I mean, I used it, and then I decided, well, you know, I want to try the alphas and all that kind of stuff. So I sent it back, and it was in perfect condition. That headset took a beating. Like, I've beat up a few different headsets at this point. The Turtle Beach 600s, I think I beat on those too, and it was really good. So they stuck together really well, surprisingly well. So Jerry Rig Everything did a paid review for the V30. What did he do that was paid? I've watched Chris Pirillo some, but he just talks a lot. Like, his videos are really long. I like some of them, and I like a lot of what he has to say, but sometimes I'm just like, come on, man. You know, you're just kind of stream of consciousness doing it here. So here's the thing, JT. Like, I wouldn't. It's tough to say, like, okay, where should a reviewer be paid in the stream of doing reviews of products? Like, I like that. You know, YouTube has done this really kind of incredible thing with ad sharing. So they're sharing that ad revenue, which they didn't have to do, and people can make decent money just from YouTube AdSense ad revenue. I feel better taking money for what I have to say about a product on the back end after that. It's when you have somebody approach you for a sponsorship to say, like, hey, will you just give a shout out to our company at the beginning and end of the video, and we'll pay you $200 or whatever. If it doesn't have anything to do with the product that I'm reviewing, then that to me is like not that big a deal, or as big a deal, I guess. So, Paul, I approved your curse word, because I'm curious to know why you think Pirillo is a self-absorbed ASS. Adam Goldberg, why do I think Apple's not as innovative as it used to be? When the iPhone came out, it was like 5 years ahead. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The iPhone was way ahead of its time, but over 10 years, other companies have just like played catch up, and then Android really started to innovate on its own. But it's the classic. Apple finds itself again in this, like, it used to be Apple versus Microsoft, and now it's Apple versus Android. Apple has really controlled the way that they release their products, but I think the reason that they're not innovative right now is that they don't have an innovator running the company. They've got marketing people and business people, and I had hoped that Johnny Ive would be like a guy who really like took a leadership role and stepped out there, but I don't know what's going on there. But I just think they, you know, if the business people are the people who, you know, are making the money. There's a Steve Jobs video where he says, you know, when a company stops innovating, it's because they're making more money advertising and selling the product than they would by creating a new product. And so those are the people, the people who sell the products and sell the advertisements. Those are the people who end up making the decisions, and that's what ends up eating a company from the inside out. And I think that's what's happening to Apple right now. So, yeah. You know, there's a story about the S9 that I just came across. I haven't looked at yet. I also saw that there was going to maybe a screen on the back or something. I have to read that story before I talk too much about it. I don't know anything about it. So, tech for your needs. If you're a tech reviewer independent, you are a promoter giving free advertisement to a company. Yes, it's true. That is absolutely true. Um, the thing is, YouTube is like a totally different. It's what they might call the new media. So there was never a point up till YouTube existed, and maybe even in the most recent years, where it would be something that people would want to watch, everyday people talking about products, and those people talking about the products could then make revenue through ad sharing. I mean, it's like, so it's just weird. Like, so Christian, you're saying that Jerry Rig everything did a V30 review that was paid, but it didn't influence his review. Now, was he just doing one of his teardown videos? Because if he was just doing the teardown video, then the proof is in the pudding, and it's not really his opinion. But otherwise, Chris Pirillo, I didn't really know his backstory until recently, that he'd been around for as long as he had been around. And I think that what he does is cool. I mean, he's got his thing down, and I'm sure the people who've been watching him for years are just gonna always eat it up. Sometimes I just want him to. Sometimes I just, I don't need a 30-minute video. But one of the things that happens when you make content for YouTube, or you do anything like this, is you have to kind of figure out, like, how much time do I have, and what kind of product in terms of a video or whatever can I make in that time that's good. And I think with Chris Pirillo, he's got a system down where he knows he can do a thing in a certain amount of time that will go up and be content and will be his thing, and that's his thing. So I think he's just made it so that that's what he can do really well. And I'm not going to say it's bad or good or anything else. It's just sometimes I want to put him on like 1.25 speed, but he's one of those fast-talking people that I can't really understand 1.25. Wait, I want to back up here. Somebody just said something about, anyway. So he tries to get some super chats going. I think the super chat's a weird idea, cool idea. I appreciate it if people give them to me, but I don't. It's a weird thing. So I must have missed something in the chat here. Like, completely agree. Says that the Pixel find isn't paid for. Donations he raised $2,000 and says it's not paid for yet. Oh, that's Pirillo. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. And he was kind of saying the same thing about he was going to buy the iPhone 10. I think people are like starting to confuse me with him. Because there were people commenting on my videos after I ordered the iPhone 10 saying, hey, weren't you the guy who said you weren't going to order the iPhone 10? No, I never said that. He did, though. Oh, yeah, but he won't ask. It is difficult to get through all the questions, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, these live streams are just, for me right now, they're just fun. Jerry Rig has an LG ad on YouTube, and he went to New York. I think I remember seeing that video, or not watching it, but seeing that video was there. There have been some Samsung ads with high-profile YouTube tech people. On one hand, I kind of wish that I would just pay for YouTube Red so I didn't have to watch ads. On the other hand, it's kind of good for me to see what ads run in front of my videos and what ads are running in general. So, well, Pirillo, asking for money in order to like sort of whittle down the questions that he needs to answer. I mean, that's a way to do it. I'm not going to say it makes sense, but that's a way to do it. And he is a guy who I assume makes a living doing this stuff. So I don't know. He's in a position that's different than where I am. But yeah, he can be a little excitable. Yeah, the Apple abandoning him thing, I did watch a little bit of that, but so Sean, you're saying that the iPhone 10 looks terrible. Yeah, the design is not good, but I'm gonna say that I don't like the way it looks, but I'm also gonna say that when I get it in my hand and I see it, I might change my mind. It might look different. It might look and feel different than it looks on everything that I've seen that isn't me touching it. So wait, Perillo's buying a phone for his wife? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah, stream is a lot of work. It's a lot of talking. I'm reading, I'm talking, I'm trying to answer questions. If you disagree with him, he will block you. Yeah, I don't know about that. Paul, I assume you're talking about Chris Perillo. The only time I'd ever block anybody is if they were just being a complete, and one of these days I might do a video where I read some of the comments that didn't make it into the video comment stream. People are not nice. That red phone looks like a phone that was designed for Iron Man. Like, I don't know what to think, Adam, about that red phone. I'm gonna have to see it. I mean, if it's like a super camera phone, it makes sense. But for a company that makes super cameras to just make a phone, I don't know. There's going to be a Razer phone now too. Razer bought NextBit, and they're making their own phone. So, is it going to be a gaming phone? I don't know. So, JT, you're talking about not liking the Note 8 camera setup. I find that Samsung, people give me all kinds of grief, but I find that the Samsung camera app is not easy to go around and get around in. Oh, so Perillo blocks people on Twitter. I see. Nobody talks to me on Twitter, so I haven't had to block anybody. The dual camera setup on the V30 I liked better than the dual camera setup on the Note 8. The wide angle lens, I'm coming to appreciate wide angle lenses, and I was glad to see that on the V30. So, Verghese, you've got the you haven't had any burn-in yet, but you do see the blue. Yeah, I was surprised at how quickly, when you turn it off axis, you could see it. When I was in the Verizon store, I was blown away by it. I can't believe they didn't recall it. And if it's burning in as well, crazy. Who's challenging you, Jack? Ghosting on the home screen. See, this is interesting because didn't LG make that phone? And LG has the same kind of POLED screen on the V30. And there's no problems with the V30 screen that other than like personal taste that I could see. There's no mechanical problems. So you told Perillo that he overlooked the serious problems with the 2XL, and now he's pushing the phone on his wife, and he blocked you. I don't know. He seems like an excitable guy. When you change things on the home screen, the ghosting image is not there. Okay. it doesn't sound like it's going to end well for Google. You know. Is that for me, Mike? I'm doing fine. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Uh, yeah, I. So, you know, it's interesting. Since I've been making more videos, I've watched less YouTube, and, and it feels weird. Like I I didn't realize how much YouTube I did watch. That next bit Robin thing was interesting. Tana, I never got to see one in real life, but I thought it was really an interesting idea. I don't know what Razer's going to do with that, or if they're just buying the company as a shell to sort of have the infrastructure. I don't know, but I'd be anxious. I mean, are we going to see our first RGB lit up cell phone from Razer? You know, I don't know. Yeah, the wide angle is the G6. I think has basically the same camera setup, and it is really nice. Oh, that's the challenge, Jack. Well, okay. I mean, you can do your worst. Uh, I haven't heard about a Tesla phone, but it wouldn't surprise me. Um, yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me. However, I'm just impressed with the Tesla, like as an object. That's like my wife and I are gonna fight over who gets one when we sell the cars that we have. She says it's for her, so I don't know. Nothing at all like Perillo. I don't know. Give me a couple of years. I don't know. He's. I'm trying to. What are those little light up things that go all the way around his desk? That's all I want to know. Um, JT, I think the iPhone 10 is a step in the right direction in a bunch of ways too. I'm going to reserve judgment on the cameras because I haven't really, I haven't had a chance to use them and I haven't seen them. Um, but I think if you're talking about your goal is to have like an all screen phone, and then you don't meet that goal, um, you're not there yet, basically. I don't know that any other phone, Paul, has POLED screens. The POLED thing, as I understand it, is LG's screen technology, but I don't think it's the same screen technology that they use in their televisions. So I'm not exactly sure. I do know that Apple invested heavily in LG in their infrastructure to be able to build phone screens. Back in July, they bought a big share because that's the big problem is there's not enough capacity to make screens to make OLED screens as much as I guess Apple needs screens to be made. You know, if the screen Verghese, if the screen thing keeps being a problem for them, um, they're offering it. Yeah, I see that they're trying to take some steps, but if the screen is messed up, I mean, you've got a Samsung Note 8, Note 7 problem here. Um, they might have to take some that's really the only way to fix that kind of problem is to step up and say, okay, this is bad. We're going to fix it. And I don't know that an extended warranty is going to do the job, but who knows? Who knows? So, Mike, your V20 has ghosting. Yeah, I didn't have any of that, but I've heard about it happening. You know, I was tempted to just go to the Sprint store today to get a Sprint an essential phone, but I don't know. Having just sunk a bunch of money into the iPhone, I'm interested in the Essential phone. I hate that it doesn't have a headphone jack because I still think that if you're going to call your phone the Essential phone, the headphone jack is still an essential thing. So, yeah. Who's a strange dude? Perillo? Yeah. I think if you spend a lot of time just talking to the camera, you're going to end up being strange, being kind of strange. And that's not, I mean, I'm talking mostly about myself, really. Yeah, well, Chris Smith, lots of people have said that about me and the videos that I've been making as the iPhone 10 comes up. I think there's a fine line between like the idea that you need to keep making video content, and you need and having something to say. So, well, I agree with the Nikita. The idea of the notch as opposed to a chin is an interesting one. And again, like I'm going to have to hold that thing in my hands and see how it feels and see how it works with the gesture stuff as opposed to having buttons and all that kind of thing. So, but the notch may not be as big a deal as everybody's making it out to be. We'll have to see. It might be the biggest pain in the rear. Face ID might not work. I saw that manufacturing of the pieces that they need for Face ID has been all settled, and so there should be better supply of the phone now. I don't know, tech junkies. I used to hate TouchWiz, and Samsung phones were always like really janky for me. But with the Note 8 and the S8 Plus that I've had, I would say that they've kind of got it right. Like I went to use Nova Launcher on the Note 8, and then I was like, no, I kind of like the TouchWiz better, which is weird. I know, but yeah, I don't like everything about it, but I think they've gotten a lot better. So I saw that ZTE phone, the foldable phone. I mean, I remember when we had folding phones. They're like the Moto Razr. Like, I don't know, if it's going to be a folding phone, it better just be like one thin sheet of like some kind of crazy glass. Otherwise, I'm not too interested. It's just a novelty right now, but maybe it's a step that they need to take to get moving forward. I don't know. I don't know why they would make that phone, but we'll see. So, Sean, if you're the best and not doing much, I'll question your credibility as well. I don't know what that's referring to, but I don't think headphone jacks are dead. I actually have a video that I'm trying to put together with a bunch of different tech YouTubers giving their opinions on whether or not the headphone jack should be made obsolete as Apple has deemed it so. That's going to come together here in the next week or so. But I think that they grossly misrepresented the technology so that they could make an excuse for buying Beats and forcing us to buy wireless headphones. Again, it's a cash grab. Apple saw an opportunity, and so it's not a coincidence that they took the headphone jack away 2 years after they bought a headphone company. Just going to say that. You know, LG seems to have really like doubled down on the audio quality thing. So I'd be surprised. They may always, maybe they'll always make a model like the V30 that will be sort of the audio appreciator's phone, but I don't know if that's a big market. That's the thing. I don't know if it's a big market. And that maybe that's why the V30 hasn't really like gotten a good foothold. We'll see. Scruff Van, thank you, man. It's a clock. What's a clock? I'm Motorola StarTAC. Yeah, I had one of those. I thought I was like the baddest guy on the planet because I spent that much money to get that phone. I think I still have it somewhere in a drawer. Uh, it was a cool phone for the time. It was really uh, it, it was really something. But it does show your age if you remember the Star Trek phone. Um, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, Sean. Okay. So, Verghese, I think you have a point there. You know, I mean, Apple is well known. I mean, everybody knows that Apple is really risk averse when it comes to new technology, and they're very happy to let other people figure out how it works. And then once they've figured out how it works, Apple will take it and make it better or easier to use or something like that. We've seen that time and time again, all the way back to like the iPod. The iPod wasn't the first MP3 player, but Apple just made the best MP3 player. So, you know, everything that they're doing is kind of just like an iteration or maybe an improvement on what's already happened. So with the notch, I think they just couldn't figure out how to do the Face ID thing and have it come through the screen. And they're going to figure it out within the next year or so, and the next phone will be all screen. Or the Face ID won't work at all, and Apple will crumble, and you know we'll know that the iPhone 10 was the beginning of the real sort of downslide. I agree, Christian. I don't understand the dropping of the headphone jack. You know, I saw a story today that there was a guy who bought a Pixel 2 at Verizon, and inside the box was the plastic thing that would hold earbuds and a USB-C to headphone jack adapter. So I guess Google was thinking about giving us headphones and decided not to. So, you know, it's just about margin. How much money? Well, yeah. I think JT. I think you're right about headsets working better. Um, Audiophiles are definitely not a big demographic in the tech world. I mean, to really invest yourself in quality audio, you're not only buying the phone, but then you're also buying, you know, more expensive headphones and everything else. And you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm listening on the go, which is not an audiophile situation. So, no, not Star Trek, StarTAC. It was a Motorola phone. It was like a flip phone. Um, Apple has to figure out what they want to do here. So they got us the Lightning jack, and then they tell us that USB-C is the future, and it is. But now they're stuck with two different kinds of ports. So they may stick with the Lightning for the mobile stuff, but I think USB-C, just because of how versatile it is gonna stay on the other stuff. Although, well, they do have courage. They had the courage to take away all of our ports. They had the courage to take away our headphone jack. They had the courage to take away our Touch ID. So, I don't know. Yeah, the MacBook switch to USB-C is aggravating. Um, because the MacBook Pros, at least, were the last place where people who make a living using Apple computers could go and know that they were going to have a fully functional machine. And then when you take away all those ports, HDMI, SD card slot, all that kind of stuff, and you only give like two ports back that are the same thing, and you don't have anything that works with that, it sucks. It sucks. So the new Macs do use USB-C, and I like, so on the new 27-inch iMac, they've got USB A or B or whatever it is. They've got some of those, but then Thunderbolt and USB-C and everything is all in that one port, and that works a little bit better. The versatility of the ports when combined with other ports is really good, but when you take away all the ports and only leave the new port, then you're really kind of screwing people. And, you know, I don't know if any of you guys watch this Tailosive Tech guy. He's trying to do his all wireless challenge where he never plugs anything into his new iPhone. It may be that that's the way that we go with mobile devices. I don't know. I think if that's the way it goes, it sucks. But, you know, when did they make the move to Lightning? I think it was between the 4 and the 5, or maybe it was the 4S. I am not sure. Might have been the 4S. Maybe somebody else out there knows. Well, you know, that was the promise, Sean, is that, oh, Lightning gives us this opportunity for better audio. But nobody's come out with better audio Lightning headphones. I tried a pair from Philips, and they were crap. They really did not sound good. You can put the DAC and the amp, and you can do everything inside of a headphone. So you can buy a headphone that you know is going to have a certain kind of thing and sounds a certain kind of way. But but nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing it. So, oh, it's a clock. Okay. Now I got you. I'm finally catching up. Tech junkies, man. Maybe we can talk about that. I'm like so crazy right now with trying to do my own thing, but we'll figure something out if it's possible. Let's see. Yeah. So Tailosive drives you nuts. You know, it's funny. I watched one of his videos where he was talking about how he used to be just like a regular tech YouTuber, and nobody watched his other stuff, so he just decided to go all in and be like the Apple guy, and it's working for him. I mean, I can't argue that. And in some ways, I feel like I'm becoming like the dark Tailosive, you know, but right now Apple is what the news is. So the thing is, like, I woke up this morning, I was tired, I hadn't had my coffee yet, and I put on a Tailosive Tech video, and he was just too intense for me. Like I couldn't watch it. I had to turn it. I had to watch something that wasn't as anyway. It's interesting. There seems to be a new crop of tech YouTubers that are kind of like right around the 20 to 50 to 60,000 subscribers, that are kind of coming up and doing things slightly differently than the Jonathan Morrison, Austin Evans kind of guys. But I don't, it's kind of interesting. The thing about Tailosive Tech is that, like, I've invited him to be a part of my headphone jack video. I know what his opinion is about the headphone jack, but I want to see him like sort of mix in with everybody else and really have a conversation about it. I don't begrudge him being an Apple sheep and loving Apple, but you know, come on over and talk to everybody else. The notch video was intense. I think that might have been the one that I was watching, and I couldn't finish watching it. Darkness 265. If you're talking like just which headphones are better, the Elite Pros are a better headphone all around than the Revolver S. But for the Elite stuff to really be worth it, you need to get the whole package with the tack and all that kind of stuff. And they've brought it down in price now. It's like, I think somebody told me it was like $300 now, and it would be worth it for that price. So hey Justin, thanks for stopping in. Well, if there's a real chance that the iPhone 10 could fail. I mean, everybody could get their phones on Friday, and you know, we just saw it with Google a week ago. Face ID is not working, or you know, the gesture stuff is not working, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think could happen, but I don't want to happen. Yeah, we all go a little bit overboard because we know we have to stand out. We have to stand out on this platform. So, did he actually live stream him ordering it? Because I was gonna do that, but I was just so friggin' tired. That I didn't want to subject anybody to me just like sitting here at this desk. Literally, I for the last hour and a half, I just watched Forensic Files while I was sitting here, hoping that I wouldn't fall asleep. I set an alarm for myself. Happy anniversary, Justin. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. So you were watching him and ordering the phone at the same time. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I watched a couple of the videos on what to do. I had my iPad and I was just like opening the app and closing the app and opening the app and closing the app. And I saw some people had like 3 different things. I was lucky that I got in when I did. I think it took like 3 or 4 minutes. So yeah, everybody said the app was the best way to go beforehand, but it seems like the carriers were the ones who had more. They came on earlier and they had more to do than they have in the past. 30,000 people were watching him. Oh my, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, if you can, but then again, it was only midnight for him. It wasn't like 2 or 3 in the morning. So, but I might go back and watch some of that just to see what it was like. Well, Christian, I remember you telling me that I needed to have more clickbaity titles. But the thing is, like, I wanted to find a way to like have a provocative title where I still talked about what it was that I said I was going to talk about in the video. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do with these more recent videos. And I've also been like, basically, like I've said it before, I've been a writer for years, and I've just been like writing essays and using them as like my jumping off point. Yeah, lots of people use, if you want to call it clickbait. I mean, I always think of clickbait as like like those videos where, you know, the streamer, like the streamer girls are on there, and it looks like it's going to be something really provocative or inappropriate, and then you go and it's just a bunch of guys doing stupid stuff on the streams. So it's not like that's clickbait, but provocative or sensational, you know, all the way back to the early part of the 20th century, sensationalist journalism was a big way to get things right. No, I'm not taking you the wrong way. I appreciate you liking the video, and the video has been like, it is now officially the most successful video ever on this channel at this point. So, I'm happy about that. Tim, man, Cloud Alpha versus Astro A40. I think just because of the versatility, the A40 is a better choice, but it's $250 instead of $99. So it depends on how much you want to spend. The A40 is a nice package. $250 is a lot of money. The Cloud Alpha sounds really good, but it doesn't have all the features that the A40 does. Taylor's is in Orville, California. I don't know where that is. Wow, the chat has slowed down. It's slowed down. I was barely keeping up there for a while. What do we got in here? 42 folks. Hey, 42 people are in here. Who is my favorite writer? That's a really hard question. Raymond Carver is a writer that I've like tried to steal from a lot. So is Cormac McCarthy. Those are like the two that I've really been influenced by. So those are probably my favorites at this point. But then again, I mean, there's also Hemingway and Fitzgerald and all the dead white guys, and plenty, and female writers like Marilyn Robinson is somebody who's, you know, I know personally because I went to school out here, and she's a freaking genius. So Pixel Book 2, I haven't really looked at it. It looks interesting, but I just don't know. I'm still not sold on the Chromebook. Maybe somebody can talk me into it, but I know that like the junior high kids all have Chromebooks at my daughter's school. I don't know. I don't know if I want to pay $1,000 or whatever it costs for a Chromebook. If Google did the notch, would that be okay? I don't think they would get as much crap for it, because honestly, they haven't shown design chops yet like Apple has. Apple with like the 4 and the 5 and that design, like that sort of put phone design on the map. And everybody has been, you know, everybody started chasing that kind of quality. So I think if Google came out with something that had the notch on it, they'd probably get a pass, because the Pixel wasn't that sexy of a phone, and the Pixel 2 is better, but not really up to the same quality. Verghese, thank you, man. 6,000 subs, yeah. This has been, like, the past month has been insane. I had 2,000 or 2,400 subs at the beginning of 2017. So I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody for being here. I mean, I'm just glad that, like, I'm making these videos, people are responding to them. Like, I have no agenda. Like, I've been a musician, I've been a writer. I have wanted to make money and make my living doing creative stuff. I have a good job, but, you know, whatever. I just like doing this. So, I mean, if I'm a writer, what made me get into tech? I've just always kind of been into tech. I mean, I love musical stuff. And then, you know, so like guitars and everything like that. And over the years, music and tech got more combined. And so that just sort of slowly moved me over to being interested in computers and stuff like that. And I've always just been really interested in stuff that makes things work. And so now, like, to me, music, then tech, and then tech and everything else was kind of the progression. Google needs somebody. You know, I don't know who they need. Johnny Ive is like, Steve Jobs like picked Johnny Ive out of design school and saw something that I don't know if anybody else saw. And his first design was that, you know, like the Snow White iMac that I have back in the back of my studio here. That was Johnny Ive's first design. And I think he is really a brilliant designer. I think he'll go down in history as one of the industrial designers that we remember and we talk about. I don't know how much input he's had in the recent stuff, but you know, the Essential phone does have that notch for the camera, but that's a tiny notch. And the Essential phone, like, I did see it. I stopped into a Sprint store before it had officially been released, and I just went in and I was like, hey, have you guys gotten the Essential phone yet? And as it happened, the dude was actually just opening one that had just been sent, even though they weren't getting their ones for sale for a little while. So I got to hold it. I got to look at it. It's a really nice piece of technology. It doesn't have a headphone jack, but I'm not one of those people who like. I don't really want to harp on the headphone jack thing, but I just think that taking away the headphone jack is the thing that is the best example of companies telling us, you know, it's like companies who used to tell us that smoking cigarettes would help us stay slim. You know, it's just like they're not being totally honest with us, and they're doing stuff for them that they're telling us is for us, and they're saying that they have courage. And anyway, all right, I'm gonna rant about that in a video. I won't rant about it here. Tech Junkies, you started watching when I had 8,000 subs. Yeah, I honestly don't. The only thing that you can do with something like YouTube is keep making videos. That was the whole thing was like, it was like a hobby for me. I just started doing it because I was buying gaming headsets because I wanted to play Battlefield with my friend who lives across the country. And I'd never bought a gaming headset before. And when I bought my first gaming headset, it sucked. And then I bought another one and it was a little bit better. And then it, you know, so I just got interested in the real spread of the gaming headsets and started doing videos, and a few people started watching them. And then I just kept doing it because it's like you get to work with video, you get to work with audio, you get to do, you know, you get to talk to people. I'm a teacher, so I like to talk, and if you can't tell. So it's yeah, the fact that the channel has started to grow this fast is in some ways like almost kind of scary. Like, because I don't know what I did or if I did anything. So it's just really weird. Justin, man, I am not playing any games right now because I have, like, since the channel started growing about a month ago, I've been trying to put up like at least 4 or 5 videos a week. And it's been a really busy, like the fall is a really busy time for me at my job as well. But I am looking forward to the Call of Duty World War II. I'm not a Call of Duty guy. Battlefield is my jam when it comes to the first-person shooters. But World War II is a great venue for those kinds of games. So I'm kind of excited about that. who's my favorite YouTuber besides myself? I'm not my favorite YouTuber. I don't know. I mean, there are YouTubers that I really respect. I mean, I've mentioned Marquez Brownlee several times. I respect him because like he seems like he's really grounded and he's just doing his thing. I don't know. I watch a lot of people. In terms of tech YouTubers, there are some tech YouTubers that I really hate, uh, but I still watch them. Uh, I mean, one of the first tech YouTubers that I watched, who I still really like, is Juan Carlos Bagnell, who, when he was just some gadget guy, I watched his videos, and I liked he had a lot of focus on audio. And so I liked watching his videos, and I think what he's doing for Pocket now is really good as well. So I'm glad to see him having that kind of success. He was one of the first people that I started watching. You know, there's some people who are a little too slick for my taste. I don't know. So yeah, being a YouTuber is a lot of work. You know, the painfully honest thing, like there was a while there where I said, you know, painfully honest reviews of certain things, and the channel was still called the JTL, which is just like a nickname that I had. And back in late April or early May, I think I decided to change the name and just call it Painfully Honest Tech. It's like I just had a light bulb moment, and that's when the channel really started to grow a little bit. I think there's a lot in a name. Like if you see the JTL, it doesn't mean anything. And even if I'm like having the best like tech conversations, nobody's going to know it's tech. But when they say Painfully Honest Tech, then people know hopefully what they should expect when they come to the channel, and it seems like that maybe is drawing people. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun. Wait, I'm the guy who does Painfully Honest Tech. Oh, so Paul Perillo is your favorite? See, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I try and be honest just because I think that's what you're supposed to do. So it's like the painfully honest thing was just like, to me in some ways it's just kind of like a sort of nod to the fact that we're supposed to be, if there are no gatekeepers anymore and people are purchasing decisions on YouTube based on what average Joes like myself are saying, then I feel like I'm going to give everybody my honest opinion about the experience that I had with the thing. Some people yell at me for not like reading spec sheets about phones or whatever. I don't care about the spec sheet. You can go to the website and read the spec sheet. Now, if there's something on the spec sheet that I think works particularly well or not well, then I'm going to talk about that. But I think people have this expectation, and it's because of some of these larger tech YouTubers who, you know, they make really hot shot videos, like they look great, and that's not that those guys aren't good at doing what they're doing, but they aren't really going out on a limb personally whenever they talk about stuff. Yeah, I like Mr. Mobile as well. I liked Michael Fisher when he was on Pocket Now, and I like what I mean, he's just like he's so unapologetically a dork, a geek, a nerd, whatever you want to call him. You know, he wears his Star Trek fandom on his sleeve, and he's really smart, and he really breaks things down very, very well. And I admire how he can get a lot of production quality into his videos while still getting a lot of content into his videos. So, Coco, let me see. So you're going from iCloud to the V30 Plus. I mean, I've used Dropbox. I still have a Dropbox account. It was better when there wasn't as much cloud storage available. I think Google and their ecosystem is the best that you can get on the Android side. It's just so easily like baked into all the Android stuff. Yeah, I really like Flossie Carter too. Tim Schofield, I haven't watched as many of his videos, but I feel like Flossie Carter is somebody who, like, I watched his videos and I was like, I like that this guy is just telling it, the way that he sees it, and I really like that. Okay, so we're not supposed to, but you mentioned Chris Pirillo. So are we not supposed to talk about him now, like from this point? Okay, we don't have to talk about him. And, if this stream goes on much longer, like, I might start talking about YouTubers that I don't like. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So Michael Fisher lives in the same hometown. I think that's the funny thing about Flossie Carter is that, like, he's got all those fun names for all the people who come into the comments section. Like, he's really good at that. Hey, greetings. Where are you in Germany, Colombo? I'm a Yankees fan, so I no longer had to watch baseball after last week. So. It's not. I mean, I don't have cable, so I don't watch unless I turn it on. So, your average consumer is good too. I feel like the problem that I have with your average consumer, it's not really a problem that I have with him, but, like, if you're trying to do something where it's like your average experience with anything, then there's not really a ton to, like, separate it from anybody else. Like, that's the same problem I have with, like, Jim's Review Room, where he tries to claim that he's, like, offering unbiased opinions based on his usage of products to help people make decisions. You can't offer an unbiased opinion. There's no such thing as an unbiased opinion. So, but your average consumer is really good too. Like, sometimes I feel like his channel lost a little focus for me, but it wasn't necessarily like anything that he was doing. He did a lot of gaming stuff, and then he kind of like over into tech and over into mobile and over into this and that. So yeah, he's the average thing. I do like the videos that he does, like the day in the life with the phone videos. I think those are really good. I like those videos that he does. Yeah, we were talking about the Red phone and the Razor phone earlier. I don't know what to think about those. I mean, I said before, I kind of felt like the Red phone was like it looked like the phone that Iron Man would carry, And if it's a phone that just really goes all in on the camera stuff, and it's just worlds better on the camera front than everything else, and everything else about the phone is solid, then yeah. Razer, I don't know what the heck Razer's going to do with the phone. RGB lighting? I don't know. I don't know why Razer is going to have a phone, but it'll be interesting to see. Headphone jack Bluetooth review comparison. See, it's hard because you have to there's no like middle ground there, because Bluetooth is always being like broken down and then recombinated in the headphones, and it's like there's so much electronics that goes in there and signals and blah 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 that I will try, JT. I will try and figure out a good way to do it. 256 is the right number, Rodrigo, but 64 is the right price, or at least the price that I could deal with. Like, I could not find a way to afford the 256 gigabyte iPhone 10. I think actually 128 is a sweet spot. It's not too little. It's not too much. So yeah, that's what I think. And I got some stuff coming up this week. I'm going to talk about options this week, and some of it is going to be based on what's available out in the market. Female tech reviewers, check me out, Krista Laura. Yeah, I've watched this girl Amanda Woolsey. I like her stuff. Yeah, but those are people I haven't watched as much. Crystal Laura I've watched because she was doing videos for somebody else before she kind of went out and did stuff on her own. So I've seen a bunch of her videos, and Tech Me Out, I subscribe to her, but sometimes it's like, sometimes people float across your home screen and you're subscribed to them, and sometimes they don't. I just haven't seen her stuff for a while. Well, JT, I hope you're liking the A10s, man. The microphone on the A10s, if that's what I'm remembering right, the microphone was just like shockingly good. So that was a huge plus, and they are indestructible. So all the people that subscribe to me who complain about the Sony Golds always breaking, they should just go get. Well, now Astro's going to have an A20, which is going to be wireless, and maybe it'll have the same build quality and the same mic quality, and we can all stop complaining about this. So, average consumer buys 50 Microsoft controllers. Well, I mean, it's sort of like collecting shoes. I mean, I get it, because I've also watched like Lamar Wilson. He also collects Xbox controllers. I got my daughter like a double shot pink Xbox controller custom made for Christmas, just because I thought it would be cool to do. And it is really cool. But yeah, those things are expensive. Erica Griffin, I do like her a lot. Like, she is very intense, and she will spend a lot of time going over the stuff that she has spent a lot of time learning about. I got to give a shout out to Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. She might be one of the tech YouTubers that I've been watching for the longest. And if I'm buying like a PC or something like that, or if I'm buying a laptop, I will watch her video, because I know that she'll give all the information that I need, and then I can take that information and flow it together with a bunch of other with a bunch of other YouTubers. And like, but Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, her info is always solid. And so One Player Productions, what's that? What's that, Elijah Byers? Tell me about it. I just shouted it out, so now you got to tell me about it. Yeah, Tech Junkies, I know what you're saying, man. I think it's really easy if you make videos, or if you do anything tech related. The more you have access to better equipment, the more you kind of fall in love with the equipment and pay more attention to that than you do with making the videos. And I think that's what's happened to a bunch of the bigger tech YouTubers at this point. Yeah, 128, man. 128 is the sweet spot. Well, I guess the Pixel people are giving it to us, but they're also giving us blue screens. So 64, yeah. Apple is never going to give us what we want. They're only going to give us what we ask for like 2 years after we need it. And then they're going to say, look, we finally gave it to you. Like, to start out at 64, I mean, 2 years ago we were complaining about 16 gigabytes. So they've come a long way. Lamar Wilson I think he's awesome. I think he's so much fun, but he's another person that, like, if I'm like drinking my coffee in the morning, I can't, Lamar is too much energy for me. Yeah, Mobile Tech Review is I mean, she's been doing it forever. Erica is Erica Griffin has been doing it for a really long time as well. Like I said, there's this girl Amanda Woolsey who I've watched, and Tech Me Out. I don't know why it's the Crystal Laura. I don't know why it doesn't seem like there are as many female tech YouTubers out there, but I would really like for them to do more. But so excuse me. Yes, courage. We all need to have the courage. Yeah, I looked today at my V20 or my V30 to see how close I was to 64 gigs. And I was at like 40 something. I still had 24 gigs left. So 64 gigs is a lot, but if you don't have like a cloud storage solution, then I think the days of like deleting stuff off your phone, it has to be over with. And I think the Pixel phones have sort of gotten that right. I would love to see Apple step up and say, we're going to do the same thing, but they're making too much money on cloud storage. So what do I think about The Verge? I like The Verge. I like their writing better than I like their videos. Their videos are a little stiff to me, and they seem kind of corporate. But they have good writing on their website, and so I like that. I used to hate Linus, but I've come to really, really like Linus for some reason. I think I just have to. I have to watch him. I had to watch him for a while before I really got a feel for it, but he knows his stuff, and man, he has like built himself a Canadian empire up there. He's something else. So I enjoy watching Linus videos when I'm doing, again, if I'm like doing a PC build or I need to do some computer stuff, I'm watching Linus, I'm watching Paul's Hardware, I'm watching well, it used to be Awesome Sauce Network, now it's something else, I forget, but yeah, Matthew Moniz, the Matthew Moniz, like, there's something about that guy that just like he makes good videos, but sometimes I don't know. So Linus started getting annoying when he started to make money. I don't know. I mean, I still like his attitude. He's definitely making money. He's definitely making a lot of money. But, expandable storage it's never been on an iPhone, so I kind of just take that as it is. I would love to see Apple price stuff correctly, but they don't, and they leave holes in their lineup so that you have to pay more if you want the latest. That's just what they do. Yeah. Well, somebody said that it was only like 3,000 people watching him order the phone, but I don't know. I'll have to go back and check it out. Jay's 2 cents is good. Sometimes he's a little bit more just like straight up PC. And when I'm like doing that, I will watch his stuff. I like that he's a guy who, he seems to really appreciate that he's had the success that he's had on YouTube, and he's pretty open and honest about, the stuff that he does and how he feels about doing it, and it seems to appreciate his audience. I am still live for some reason. I gotta go probably in like 10 minutes so I can sleep. Bored at Work is really good too. Like, I don't know why he's not over 1 million subs. Because he works his tail off. He puts up videos all the time, and he's just really good. Paul, is that is that what Linus has at this point? Oh, jeez. Yeah, 16. I don't know, man. I've got 2 cameras that do 4K, and one of them's broken. So, you know, got to start somewhere, I guess. And this is definitely not where I started. So, I'm not telling you what vids I'm coming up with. The Note 8 is a great phone, Ronaldo. I'm glad that you found it, and I hope that it works well for you. Yes, those 3 TV series. I do like them. I just started watching. The family just started watching the second season of Stranger Things last night, and I have to go back and watch more because I kind of fell asleep a little bit. But I'm interested to see how Stranger Things like moves over into a second season, and we've only watched a few episodes at this point. Walking Dead is something that I started watching in season 2, and just kept watching. Game of Thrones, I read the books first, and then have enjoyed the series. I teach creative writing for medical students and run a writing program at the University of Iowa Medical School. So yeah, I am a teacher, I guess. Jedi, man, absolutely do a video on that. I'd love to see what you got. Yeah, Austin Evans. Actually, I'm predisposed to really like Austin Evans because my son and I wanted to build a PC, and at the time, he had these videos where he was making videos like, if you PC at this price range, at this price range, at this price range. You know, it's like, and so we only had like $350, and he had something that was right in that spot, and we built it using his instructions, and it was perfect. And I mean, I think he was like still in college or like college aged or something like that when he did that. So I'm predisposed to like him. But his intro thing, it's a signature for sure, but it took me a long time to kind of get used to it. Well, I look forward to checking out more of the Stranger Things. We'll be watching it over the course of this week with the family. Thanks for being here, Paul. We'll get him next year. That's right. Wait, who has a punchable face? Austin Evans? I don't know. He's okay. Four and a half inches of rain coming. Well, you know, take 2 of everything. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it was it was a fun thing that for us to do. We made like higher end, like we made all 3 of us a PC the next year. It was, and you know, Austin Evans, like his focus for his channel is different now than it was. And I find that I don't watch him as much, but I really appreciated those PC build videos that he did back in the day. I guess it is better than snow. But yeah, guys, it's getting up on 10:30 here, so I think I'm gonna start to wrap it up here. It's been great chatting. I really appreciate you guys all being here and taking the time. You know, we've been doing this for 2 hours now. It's crazy. I've just been sitting here. Anyway, so good night, Guy, G-Money, all you guys who have been here for the whole time. Hardware Canucks, I do watch him a lot, yes. I will talk to you guys. I'll try and do a live stream at least once a week. Maybe on Sundays like this is what I'm going to try and do. But I'll have a new video out tomorrow, Tuesday, and we'll talk then. Okay? I'll see you guys soon.